All right, class, you're going to learn about PowerPoint. So let's get started. We can go to PowerPoint right here on our desktop, double click on it, or we can go to Start, All Programs, Microsoft Office, and then PowerPoint. So now this is our title slide. If we accidentally close this out, which right here was our task pane, we would then go to Review. I'm not review, but view, and then click on normal, and now it reappears. So this right here shows us our slides. Now, I am going to start our project, and it's called All About Me. So that is the title of my PowerPoint presentation, and I'll do by Miss Russell, and I'll insert today's date. Let's just click on that one's fine. And then I'll put the hour. And I'll just put 8th hour. Since I don't have one. And you guys will just substitute that. Now, let's say I want to insert a slide. I'll click home because that is where you're going to add a new slide from. And we'll use the to content. So now I'm going to click here to add the subtitles. So, About Ms. Russell is the title for this next slide. Now, when I want to add bullets, you need to make sure they are short and simple. We don't want paragraphs or long sentences. So, what I want, let's just say, place of, oops, place of birth. And then now if I want to write where I was born at, I'll just press enter. And to make sure that it all flows logically, I'm going to increase my list level and put Detroit, Michigan. So now I'm done with talking about my place of birth. We're going to increase it and parents. So now watch this. So now I've typed in parents, my mom, Pamela, my dad, Dwight. So now let me press enter again and let's decrease it. Now we could talk about siblings. Press enter, increase it. I have one brother. His name is Jermaine. And maybe you want to put other family members. And then I'll press niece. Oops. Now, what if I didn't mean to have two text boxes right here? So what I would do, I'll go to layout because I don't want to add a new slide, and I'll just change it to the title and content. That way, it's all better now. Now, say if I want to move a slide, let's add another slide first. New slide, let's do a comparison. What if I want this slide to go in front? You see this blue line? You'll click on slide that you want to move and move it up or move it down. Okay, if you want to delete a slide, you'll click on the slide and you can right click and press delete slide, or you can click on the slide and press delete on the keyboard. But so you guys can see it, I'll right click and press delete slide. All right, so now we're back to two slides. Now to add, let me add one more slide. So let me go to the layout and I'll do a comparison. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back to the to content. No, where was I? Title and content. And then I'll go to new slide. comparison. So hold that thought. Okay, so I've just added a slide and called it my hobbies. If you notice, I have my indoor activities and my outdoor activities because I chose the comparison layout, which is highlighted. And I wrote basketball, weight training, and computers. Now, so if you were to think in terms of the table of contents, basketball would be chapter one, weight training, chapter two, computers is chapter three. Now, since I have things under my computers, I have five total, so I increased the indent so that it cannot be at the same bullet list. And then I increased it again for these because they're the type of the computers, the five computers that I have. All right. So same thing with here. You have to make sure you are using short statements to briefly explain what it is that you guys are doing. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a design template to it. And let's choose this one. Now, if I wanted to change the color scheme, say you don't like the color scheme, you like the way it looks, but you don't like the color scheme, you could come right here to colors, and then you can choose the color scheme that you want. So I'll just choose that one. So now I have a different color scheme. And I'm going to add a picture. Well, let me add another slide. And I'm just going to use the picture with caption. Okay, so I've added this, and let's say I want to make these bullet points. So I'll click on bullets. So just in case, if you ever forget that they're there, which I need to change the color of those because you can't see them. Let's change, make sure that's white. I still can't see them. Probably because I'll fix that later. But what I would then do, I want to scoot these down, so I'll press enter. And then maybe I want to center this so I can do that. Maybe I want to make it look text a little bigger as well. And now let's get rid of some of those enters. Okay, so now I'm going to add a picture. So I can click on that picture, especially if I have it as a file, or I can find it on the internet. And I'm going to use this picture, insert. So now there is a picture of me and Mikey. Maybe I want to make that bigger. And if I could, since they're text boxes, we can simply scoot the text box down just like that. So remember, all of these are text boxes and you can always move them, even if you want to rotate them or something like that. Okay? But let's undo both of those. I don't want to do that. And let's scoot that over to the middle. Now, what I'm going to do is show you guys how to add a transition. So transitions are how the slide looks as it goes from one slide to the other. So I'll just simply click on transitions and then I'll press let's do a fade, or let's see something you can really see. The shape, and we're going to change the time or the length of the transition. Let's change it to 3 seconds. So now we could preview it, and that's how to look. And you have to change your transitions for each slide, including the duration. So you need to make sure you read the directions so you can see what to save it as or what to change it to, what the duration should be. And let's use this one more. Let's use the vortex. And let's change that to 3 seconds. So now, if we want to view our slideshow so far, we'll go to slideshow and then from beginning. And that's how that looks. You can press the arrow key. It goes to the next one. There's the next transition. And there's the last transition. If you want to get out of it at any time, just press escape on the keyboard, top left corner. Lastly, we need to know how to do animation. So let's take this clip art or this picture, and we're going to go to animation on the toolbar. And let's do a a shape. Or we could change it and we can do a zoom. So now I could always want to set this to with previous so I don't have to click on it. All right. And say if I want to come here and I want my text box to have animation, I'll click here on the text box. I was inside. Now I got to click on the border so I can add animation to it. And let's do a bounce. But I want to make sure it's with previous so that we don't have to keep clicking. Lastly, now say if I need to add a border or to this picture, I want to format the picture. We go to format and let's add a cute little border to the picture. All right, or you could change the way it looks. But now we need to scoot that text box down a little bit. All right, also say if I want, no, that's about it. So last thing, if I want to insert a footer, I'll do the same thing like if I was in Microsoft Word. Go to insert and go to header and footer, and then I'll click on footer, and then I'll type what I want in the footer. Or I'll cancel that. Or if I want to add word art, I can also do that. So the same thing that you guys do in Microsoft Word, you can just about do in Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, so it's up to you to play around with it. And that is it for the lesson.